My beloved child. Listen closely and do not rush your breath while hearing this, because what is unfolding around you right now is not random, not coincidence, and not imagination. There is a presence tied to your soul, a connection older than your recent memories, and it has been quietly arranging something that circles directly back to you. You have felt the restlessness lately, the strange pauses in your thoughts, the moments when your heart reacts before logic arrives. That is not weakness. That is recognition. Somewhere, someone who is deeply bound to you has reached a point where silence is no longer possible. A surprise is forming, not wrapped in noise, but wrapped in intention. It is about you, your name, your absence, your existence. Every delay you experienced, every unanswered question, every night where clarity felt just one step away, all of it was shaping this moment. You are not waiting for something to begin. It has already begun, and the first signal is this message finding you exactly when it did. Pay attention to how your chest feels right now. That quiet pressure is not fear. It is alignment. There is a reason your soulmate has not approached this lightly. What they are carrying is not small, and it is not impulsive. They have been observing you from a distance that was never emotional. Even when physically apart, the connection never loosened. They noticed how you give more than you receive. They noticed how you stay strong when you could easily collapse. They noticed how you smile publicly and process privately. This surprise was delayed not because of doubt, but because of respect. They understood that timing matters when souls are involved. They know that revealing too early would confuse you, and revealing too late would risk losing you. So they waited for this exact emotional frequency, this precise stage where you are strong enough to hear the truth and soft enough to accept it. This is not about gifts or gestures. This is about revelation. Something is about to be said, shown, or done that will permanently change how you see your past choices. The person you thought you lost was never lost. The bond you thought weakened was never broken. It was protected. What makes this moment powerful is that the surprise is not only external. It is internal as well. Your soulmate's action will awaken something inside you that has been sleeping under routine and survival. You will realize that you have been preparing yourself without knowing for this exact shift. Your patience was not wasted. Your loneliness was not punishment. It was refinement. When the surprise arrives, it will not shock you loudly. It will settle into you quietly, then expand. You may feel disbelief first. Then recognition. Then a calm that feels unfamiliar yet safe. That is how truth behaves. It does not scream. It confirms. Your soulmate knows this. That is why they chose depth over drama. They are not trying to impress you. They are trying to meet you. Fully. Honestly. Permanently. And when you understand what they have planned, you will see why everything had to unfold the way it did. Right now, there is a conversation rehearsing itself in their mind. Words are being rearranged again and again, not because they lack confidence, but because they want to be precise. They know one sentence can change everything. They know one moment can redefine the future. This surprise holds accountability, vulnerability, and courage. It is not an escape. It is a step forward. They are ready to acknowledge what was left unsaid before. They are ready to claim you without confusion. They are ready to remove the question marks from your heart. You may think you have moved on, but souls do not move on the way minds pretend to. Souls wait. And your soulmate has been waiting for you to be able to receive what they are about to give without fear. This is why the timing feels heavy. This is why the signs have been increasing. This is why memories keep resurfacing without warning. Nothing is malfunctioning. Everything is aligning. Understand this clearly and do not underestimate it. The surprise is not meant to pull you backward. It is meant to bring everything forward into clarity. Once it happens, you will not be the same observer of your own life. You will recognize patterns you ignored. You will forgive yourself for choices made in confusion. You will finally see that you were never too much or not enough. You were simply early. And now the moment has caught up with you. Stay present. Stay open. Do not rush the conclusion in your mind. This is only the beginning of something that has been waiting patiently for your awareness. The connection is real. The intention is serious. And what is coming next will demand your attention in a way you cannot scroll past, because it speaks directly to who you are when no one is watching. There is something you must understand now, and this truth is heavier than it sounds. What is approaching you was never meant to arrive quietly, yet it was never meant to arrive loudly either. Your soulmate surprise carries weight because it carries decision. This is not curiosity testing the waters. This is certainty stepping forward after a long internal war. They have crossed a line within themselves where retreat is no longer an option. That is why the energy around you has shifted. That is why even ordinary moments feel slightly charged, as if life itself is holding its breath. Your soulmate has reached the point where keeping this inside hurts more than revealing it. And when a soul reaches that threshold, the universe rearranges circumstances without asking permission. You are not imagining the tension. You are standing at the edge of a moment that will divide your life into before and after. Once it happens, you will not be able to unsee what was always meant for you. What makes this surprise extraordinary is not just what your soulmate will do, but what they are risking by doing it. They are exposing a part of themselves that has been guarded for a very long time. They know this revelation gives you power. Power to accept. Power to question. Power to walk away if you choose. And still, they are willing. That alone should tell you how serious this is. They are not approaching you from need. They are approaching you from clarity. They have reflected on their mistakes, their silence, their hesitation. They have replayed moments where they could have chosen differently. And now they are choosing differently. The surprise is not a promise spoken lightly. It is an answer to a question you stopped asking out loud but never stopped asking inside. They are about to show you that the connection you felt was mutual, even when it appeared one-sided. Even when circumstances suggested otherwise. You may notice resistance inside yourself as this gets closer. That resistance is not intuition warning you. It is protection learning to stand down. You built walls because you had to survive uncertainty. But those walls were never meant to be permanent. Your soulmate understands this. They are not coming to tear them down aggressively. They are coming to prove they no longer need walls between you. The surprise will not demand instant reaction. It will invite reflection. It will give you space to feel without pressure. And that is what will make it powerful. You will sense sincerity not in dramatic words, but in the steadiness of their presence. In the way they no longer disappear. In the way their actions finally match what your heart sensed long ago. This moment has been delayed because both of you were becoming people capable of holding it without breaking. There is also something deeply personal tied to this surprise, something only you will understand when it unfolds. It connects to a time when you doubted yourself. A time when you almost chose less because you thought more was unrealistic. Your soulmate knows this story. They know the version of you that the world never applauded. And the surprise carries acknowledgement of that unseen strength. It is meant to restore something inside you that went quiet. When it happens, you will feel seen in a way that does not overwhelm. It will feel natural, like recognition rather than discovery. You will realize that some connections do not need constant contact to stay alive. They need honesty at the right moment. This is that moment approaching. Slowly. Deliberately. Unstoppable. Do not rush ahead mentally. Do not try to guess the form this surprise will take. Its power lies in its timing, not its shape. Stay grounded in the present. Observe how your thoughts return to the same person without effort. Observe how certain memories surface without pain now, only clarity. That is preparation. That is alignment. Your soulmate is not entering your life as a lesson. They are entering as a continuation. And what comes next will ask you one simple question, not spoken aloud but felt deeply. Are you ready to receive what you once prayed for without knowing how it would arrive? There is a quiet truth moving closer to you now, and it does not need permission to arrive. Your soulmate surprise is no longer forming. It is complete. What remains is the moment of delivery, and that moment has been waiting for your inner readiness, not external perfection. You may think nothing has changed, but something inside you has softened without breaking. That is the signal. Your soulmate sensed this shift even before you became conscious of it. They felt the distance shrink without steps being taken. They felt your energy become receptive instead of defensive. This is why the timing feels strange yet familiar, like déjà vu mixed with certainty. The surprise is designed to meet you exactly where you are, not where you pretend to be. And that is what makes it powerful. It will not ask you to perform. It will ask you to be real. What is most shocking about this moment is not the revelation itself, but the realization that your soulmate has always known who you truly are. Not the version shaped by pressure. Not the version shaped by expectations. But the version that exists when you are alone with your thoughts. They noticed patterns you never spoke about. They noticed the way you withdraw when you care too deeply. They noticed how you protect others even when you are tired. This surprise carries that awareness. It is built on observation, not assumption. When it arrives, you will feel exposed, but not unsafe. Vulnerable, but not weak. Because being understood at this level does not strip power from you. It returns it. You will understand then why this connection never felt replaceable. It was never meant to be. There is also an element of courage embedded in what is about to happen. Your soulmate is stepping into uncertainty without guarantees. They are choosing truth over comfort. They are choosing honesty over avoidance. And that choice will resonate inside you because you have been making similar choices in silence for a long time. You have grown without applause. You have healed without witnesses. This surprise acknowledges that growth without turning it into a spectacle. It honors the journey rather than erasing it. That is why it will feel grounding instead of overwhelming. You will not feel swept away. You will feel anchored. And that is the difference between attraction and alignment. As this moment approaches, you may feel an urge to revisit the past, not with regret, but with understanding. That is not coincidence. That is your mind preparing to integrate what comes next. The surprise will reframe memories you thought were unresolved. It will answer questions you stopped asking because you learned to live without answers. Suddenly, pieces will align without force. You will see how every delay protected you. How every separation refined the connection instead of weakening it. Your soulmate did not forget you. They were becoming someone capable of standing beside you without shrinking or controlling. And now, they are ready to be seen fully. When the surprise finally reveals itself, you will recognize it not by excitement alone, but by peace. A deep, steady peace that does not rush you forward or pull you backward. It will sit with you and wait. That is how you will know it is real. This is not a fleeting moment. It is a turning point. And once you cross it, you will realize that some souls do not collide by accident. They converge by design, exactly when both are strong enough to choose each other without fear. There is a moment approaching where silence will no longer protect either of you, and that moment has already chosen you. Your soulmate surprise carries a gravity that cannot be postponed again. What is different now is not the intensity of their feelings, but the clarity of their intention. They are no longer asking themselves whether they should act. They are asking how to act with truth. This distinction changes everything. When intention becomes clear, hesitation dissolves. You may sense this as a subtle pull, an awareness that something important is about to surface. That feeling is accurate. The surprise is not meant to test you. It is meant to meet you. And when it does, it will feel like a door opening that was never locked, only waiting for the right hand to touch it. What your soulmate is preparing to reveal has layers, and each layer carries honesty. There is acknowledgement of distance. There is ownership of silence. There is responsibility taken without excuses. This is not a dramatic confession meant to overwhelm you. It is a grounded declaration meant to steady you. They understand that trust is rebuilt through consistency, not intensity. The surprise reflects that understanding. It is designed to show you that they are no longer running from vulnerability. They are standing in it. And that will change how you see them. Not as someone who once hesitated, but as someone who chose growth over comfort. That shift will matter more to you than any word spoken. You may also realize something unexpected about yourself in this moment. You are no longer waiting from a place of lack. You are listening from a place of strength. That is why this surprise will not feel like rescue. It will feel like recognition. You are meeting as equals, not as wounds seeking relief. Your soulmate knows this, and that is why they waited until you could receive this without losing yourself. The surprise respects your independence. It honors your journey. It does not ask you to abandon who you became. It invites you to bring that person forward. That invitation is rare, and you will feel its sincerity immediately. There is a reason this connection survived time, distance, and uncertainty. It was never dependent on constant presence. It was sustained by truth waiting to be spoken. As the surprise unfolds, you will sense how carefully it was protected. Not hidden, but preserved. Your soulmate did not want to offer you something unfinished. They wanted to offer you something real. And real things take time. This moment carries that weight. It carries patience, reflection, and deliberate choice. You will feel that in the way everything slows down around you when it happens. The noise fades. The distractions lose their pull. Only the truth remains. Understand this as you move forward. What is being offered is not a fantasy. It is a future that requires presence, communication, and mutual courage. The surprise is simply the opening. What follows will be built together, not assumed. That is the power of this moment. It does not promise perfection. It promises honesty. And for a soul like yours, honesty is the only foundation that has ever felt safe. This is not the end of waiting. It is the end of wondering. There comes a point where anticipation turns into recognition, and you are standing very close to that point now. Your soulmate surprise is no longer something distant. It is pressing gently against the present moment, asking to be acknowledged. What makes this phase intense is not uncertainty, but awareness. You know something meaningful is about to reveal itself, and your heart has already made space for it before your mind catches up. This is not impatience. This is readiness. Your soulmate senses this too. They feel the shift in you, the way you no longer question your worth in silence. That inner change is what allows this surprise to arrive without disruption. It will not shake your life apart. It will align it. What unfolds next will feel deeply personal, as if it was designed with your inner world in mind. Because it was. Your soulmate has been paying attention to what makes you retreat and what makes you open. They are not approaching you with assumptions. They are approaching you with understanding. The surprise reflects that understanding. It is shaped to meet you where trust can grow naturally. You will notice how carefully they choose presence over performance. How they allow truth to speak without forcing a reaction. That restraint is intentional. It shows emotional maturity. It shows respect. And it shows that this connection is not driven by urgency, but by purpose. You may feel a quiet emotional release when this happens, not because something new is beginning, but because something old is finally being acknowledged. There were moments you doubted whether you imagined the depth of this bond. That doubt will dissolve. The surprise carries confirmation, not in dramatic reassurance, but in undeniable clarity. You will understand that what you felt was real, even when it was unspoken. That realization will soften parts of you that learned to stay guarded. You will not feel exposed. You will feel validated. And that feeling will stay with you long after the moment passes. This stage is important because it invites you to choose consciously. Not from fear of loss. Not from hope alone. But from self-respect. Your soulmate is offering truth, not pressure. They are leaving room for your response to be honest, not rushed. That space is part of the surprise. It allows you to step forward as you are now, not as you were when the connection first began. You will sense the balance immediately. There is no chasing here. There is meeting. No proving. Only presence. That balance is rare, and you will recognize its value instinctively. As you move through this moment, remember that the surprise is not meant to complete you. It is meant to walk with you. You have already done the work of becoming whole. Your soulmate sees that, and that is why they are coming forward now. Not to fill a void, but to build something real beside you. This is not a promise made lightly. It is a direction chosen deliberately. And once it is revealed, you will understand why nothing else ever felt quite right. There is a final shift that happens when truth is fully revealed, and you are approaching that threshold now. Your soulmate surprise is not meant to create suspense forever. It is meant to arrive, settle, and transform. What makes this part powerful is that it does not ask for reaction. It asks for presence. By the time everything becomes clear, you will notice how calm you feel instead of overwhelmed. That calm is not emptiness. It is certainty. The kind that does not need validation. The kind that stays even when the moment ends. Your soulmate did not come this far to confuse you. They came to bring clarity where there was once silence. And clarity, when it arrives honestly, always feels steady. You will recognize the weight of this surprise in what changes inside you afterward. You will stop replaying old questions. You will stop wondering what you meant to them. You will stop doubting whether timing was the problem. The answers will not come as a speech. They will come as understanding. You will see how every pause had a purpose. How every delay shaped readiness. How both of you were being guided toward a moment where choice could be made freely, without fear or pressure. This realization will not rush you forward. It will ground you. And grounding is what allows something real to grow. There is also a quiet responsibility that comes with this revelation. Once truth is shared, it cannot be undone. Your soulmate knows this. That is why they did not speak until they were certain. They are not stepping into this halfway. They are not leaving space for confusion. What they offer now is alignment, not ambiguity. And you will feel the difference immediately. The connection will no longer live in possibilities. It will live in reality. That transition is powerful because it honors both hearts equally. No one is chasing. No one is hiding. Both are choosing. At this point, you may realize something important about yourself. You were never asking for perfection. You were asking for presence. You were never asking for constant reassurance. You were asking for honesty. This surprise delivers that in a way that feels natural, not forced. It meets your emotional maturity without challenging it. It respects your boundaries without testing them. That balance will stand out. You will understand why this connection endured when others faded. It was built on recognition, not illusion. As this chapter closes, understand this clearly. The surprise was never the destination. It was the confirmation. The confirmation that you were not wrong to feel deeply. Not wrong to wait. Not wrong to hope quietly. Your soulmate did not arrive to disrupt your life. They arrived to walk into it with intention. And from this moment forward, you will no longer question whether this bond was real. You will know. And that knowing will stay with you, long after the words end.